Hey guys, okay, so I know I promised a video about a prophetic dream that I had a couple days ago, and so this is that video. So the dream was about a change in access to water, a problem with our water supply. It was very, very specific, and the cool thing about the dream was that I didn't really have all the pieces to put together until the moment I woke up. And that was kind of the realization moment. So the dream started where I was at a table, a dining table outdoors with family, extended family, and friends. Notice I'm white, so we were all white at the table. And about 20 feet away from us, outside, was a outdoor faucet, one that you would like hook a hose up to. And there was a massive line of people gathered, all sorts of ethnicities, mostly poor, were gathered with buckets and all sorts of things to get this water from this faucet. So we were sitting at this dining table, and as we were sitting there talking, I noticed that my dad was telling jokes, and every joke he was telling like stories about people he'd gone to school with, funny things that they did, little tricks they played. He was talking about a boy who like fell asleep in class or something, and they decided to put a plum on his thumb while he was sleeping. Like, I don't know, things that made sense back in the day that really aren't that funny now. Anyways, every story he told, the main person or the funny character in the story, which was a real person he'd known, was described as blonde. And I was becoming very uncomfortable with the conversation, not because I didn't care about my family or because they were deliberately racist, but because to me, the lack of diversity was getting really boring. I was not really entertained. I'd rather be learning something interesting that I didn't already know. So I was getting kind of bored, kind of wishing I wasn't sitting at that table. When all of a sudden, the water supply stops, and everyone in the line is like upset and causing commotion and devastated, and there's no more water. And I look at my sister's friend who's sitting with us, and I was so mad at her. And I didn't understand why I was so mad at her in this dream while I was dreaming, but I was so mad. And I said, "Ellie, do something. Ellie, please, please do something, Ellie, please." And she started crying. And she said, I'm afraid of confrontation. I just can't. I don't know what to do." And she just cried and shut down, and she refused. For some reason, I didn't understand in the dream why I was yelling at her and why I was begging her to do something. But it was very strong and very powerful, and I was very distraught. And as soon as I woke up from the dream, I realized that this friend of my sister's named Ellie, she is an environmental science major who works at a water plant in our city. And as soon as I realized that, I knew that this dream was prophetic. And I don't know what it means, and I don't know how soon it's going to happen, but I know that something is going to change, and water supply, access to clean water is going to be affected. And I believe that that's going to happen soon. So I'm just going to pray really quick. Dear Lord, I pray for all your people, God, living with small means, God, living just trying to survive in this country, especially right now, God. I know there's so many countries right now that are suffering, that don't have clean water, clean food, God, and we are so blessed right now and taken care of as a country, God. But I also know that our time for humbling is coming. And Lord, I know that truly you know your own people. Sometimes those that have to suffer more are actually going to be the ones that are going to be with you in your kingdom versus the ones that have more and seem to be sitting at a banquet table and are ignorant to the needs of others, God. Lord, I pray for my sister's friend Ellie, that if a need arises, that she rise up and that she make a decision to help in real life like she could not do in this dream. And I pray this in your name, Lord Jesus. Amen.